Hello, my name is Sarai, and I live in Portland, Maine. Regardless of your immigration status, you have guaranteed rights under the U.S. Constitution. What should you do if you are stopped by the police or ICE? Stay calm and do not resist or obstruct the agents or officers. Do not lie or give false documents. Prepare yourself and your family in case you are arrested. Memorize the phone number of your family and your lawyer. Make emergency plans if you have children or take medication. What should you do if you are arrested or detained? Say you wish to remain silent and ask for a lawyer immediately. Don't give any explanations or excuses. Don't say anything, don't sign anything, or make any decisions without a lawyer. If you have been arrested by the police, you have the right to make a local phone call. The police cannot listen if you are calling a lawyer. If you have been detained by ICE, you have the right to contact your consulate or have an officer inform the consulate of your detention. Remember your immigration number and give it to your family. It will help family members locate you. Keep a copy of your immigration documents with someone you trust. If you are a non-citizen, ask your lawyer about the effect of criminal conviction or plea on your immigration status. Don't discuss your immigration status with anyone but your lawyer. While you are in jail, an immigration agent may visit you. Do not answer questions or sign anything before talking to a lawyer. Read all papers fully. If you do not understand or cannot read the papers, tell the officer you need an interpreter in the language of your choice. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent. If you wish to exercise that right, say so out loud. In some states, you may be required to provide your name if asked to identify yourself. You do not have to consent to a search of yourself or your belongings, but police may pat you down if they suspect a weapon. If you are arrested by police, you have the right to a government-appointed lawyer. If you are detained by ICE, you have the right to consult with a lawyer, but the government is not required to provide one for you. You can ask for a list of free or low-cost alternatives. You do not have to answer questions about where you were born, whether you are a U.S. citizen, or how you entered the country. Separate rules apply at international borders and airports, and for individuals on certain non-immigrant visas, including tourist and business travelers. If you believe your rights were violated, write down everything you remember, including officers' badges and patrol car numbers, which agency the officers were from, and any other details. Get contact information for witnesses. If you're injured, ask medical attention immediately and take photographs of your injuries. File a written complaint with the agency's Internal Affairs Division or Civilian Complaint Board. In most cases, you can file a complaint anonymously if you wish. What should you do if ICE or police are at your home? How can you reduce risk to yourself? Stay calm and keep the door closed. Opening the door does not give them permission to come inside, but it is safer to speak to ICE through the door. What should you do when the police or ICE arrive? Ask if they are immigration agents and what they are there for. Ask the agent or officer to show you a badge or identification through a window or peephole. If they have a warrant signed by a judge, If they say they do, ask them to slide it under the door or hold it up to a window so you can inspect it. Don't lie or produce any false documents. Don't sign anything without speaking with a lawyer first. Do not open your door unless ICE shows you a judicial search or arrest warrant naming a person in your residence and/or areas to be searched at your address. If they don't produce a warrant, keep the door closed. State, "I do not consent to your entry." If agents force their way in, do not resist. If you wish to exercise your rights, state, "I do not consent to your entry or to your search of these premises. I am exercising my right to remain silent. I wish to speak with a lawyer as soon as possible." If you are on probation with a search condition, law enforcement is allowed to enter your home. You have the right to remain silent. Even if officer has a warrant, you do not have to let police or immigration agents into your home unless they have a certain kinds of warrants. If police have an arrest warrant, they are legally allowed to enter the home of the person on the warrant if they believe that person is inside. But a warrant of removal deportation, Form I-205, does not allow officers to enter a home without consent. If you are arrested by the police, you have the right to a government-appointed lawyer and should ask for one immediately. If arrested, you have the right to a private phone call within a reasonable time of your arrest, and police may not listen to the call if it is made to a lawyer. If you are detained by ICE or Border Patrol, you have the right to hire a lawyer, but the government does not have to provide one for you. Ask for a list of free or low-cost alternatives. If you are detained, you have the right to call a lawyer or your family, and you have the right to be visited by a lawyer in detention. You have the right to have your attorney with you at any hearing before an immigration judge. If you are stopped by the police, ICE, or Border Patrol while in transit, what do? How can you reduce risk to yourself? Remember to stay calm. Don't run, argue, or obstruct the officer or agent. Keep your hands raised where they can see them. If you are in a car, pull over in a safe place as quickly as possible. Turn off the engine. Turn on the internal light. Open the window part way and place your hands on the wheel. Upon a request, show police your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. If you are not a U.S. citizen and an immigration agent requests your papers, you must show them if you have them with you. If you are over 18, carry your immigration documentations with you at all times. If you do not have immigration papers, say you want to remain silent. Your rights in a car. Drivers and passengers have the right to remain silent. If you are a passenger, you can ask if you are free to leave. If the officer says yes, you may calmly leave. If an officer or immigration agent asks to look inside your car, you can refuse to consent to the search. But if the officer generally believes that your car contains evidence of a crime, your car can be searched without your consent. In addition to police, Border Patrol conduct roving patrols around the interior of the U.S., pulling over motorists. Border Patrol must have reasonable suspicion that the driver or passengers in the car committed an immigration violation or a federal crime. Any arrest or prolonged stop by Border Patrol requires probable cause. You may ask the agents about the basis for probable cause, and they should tell you. In this situation, both the driver and any passengers have the right to remain silent. and not answer questions about their immigration status. Your rights on an airplane. A pilot may refuse to fly a passenger if he or she reasonably believes that the passenger is a threat to flight safety. A pilot may not, however, question you or refuse to allow you on a flight because of bias based on your religion, race, national origin, gender, ethnicity, or political beliefs. Your rights on buses and trains. Border Patrol agents may board buses and trains in the 100-mile border region, either at the station or while the bus is on its journey. More than one officer usually boards the bus, and they will ask passengers questions about their immigration status, ask passengers to show them immigration documents, or both. These questions should be brief and related to verifying one's lawful presence in the U.S. You are not required to answer and can simply say you do not wish to do so. As always, you have the right to remain silent. If you believe your rights were violated, write down everything you remember, including officers' badges and patrol car numbers, which agency the officers were from, and any other details. Get contact information from witnesses. If you are injured, seek medical attention immediately and take photographs of your injury. File a written complaint with the agency's Internal Affairs Division or Civilian Complaint Board. In most cases, you can file a complaint anonymously. What should you do if you are detained while an immigration case is underway? Most people who are detained while their case is underway are eligible to be released on bond or with other reporting conditions. You have the right to call a lawyer or your family if you are detained, and you have the right to be visited by a lawyer in detention. You have the right to have your attorney with you at any hearing before an immigration judge. If you are denied release after being arrested for an immigration violation, ask for a bond hearing before an immigration judge. In many cases, an immigration judge can order that you be released or that your bond be lowered.